think you feel. The problem is my presence. And whether Ocean, Raleigh, Ozzie, those guys over there, whether they perform or not, it really doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is their presence. And their presence is being in that lineup through struggle and through good times.
Matt, Rick, one of the rules you learn really quick in baseball is if you can't post, you can't be a part of a team. And I don't care if your team's in Anaheim, Cleveland, New York, Boston, or Texas. You need guys that post every single day. The Guardians are trying to find some guys that can post daily. Ron Washington even talked to me about telling his guys about the guys with the Braves that post every day. Because posting means you have a true team that knows how to win and play for each other.
Everyday players, man, they're what you want. And the more you have, the better it's going to be. But it takes a while. We've been the youngest team in baseball for 3 years, so you got to work on that. We've got our gamers, our everydayers, and hopefully they stay in there and we can find more.
Yeah, we'll be playing a little shorthanded today, though. No Stephen Kwan in the lineup. Everybody on pins and needles waiting the results of his MRI on the injured hamstring. We're back with the first pitch next.
Pitcher Carlos Carrasco will be on the mound for Cleveland today. Carlos has struggled in his last couple of starts. He's given up 13 runs against Boston and Houston in 9 innings, allowed 5 home runs. He's got to try and keep it in the ballpark, and even in his last start, he was spotted 3 runs early. And we'll see if Carlos can put some zeros on the board until the offense gets rolling.
Ron Washington starting lineup presented by Progressive. Nolan Shonowell leads it off. Mickey Moniak in the 2-hole. Taylor Ward will bat third. Willie Calhoun once again the cleanup man. He'll DH. Brandon Drury is 5th. Matt Thaiss will catch and bat 6th. Joe Adell, the right fielder, is 7th. Cole Tucker at third base batting 8th. Zach Neto, the shortstop, will bat 9th.
And the Rally House defense behind Carrasco today looks like this. Brennan in left, Freeman in center, Laureano over and right. On the infield, it'll be Ramirez at third. Arias gets the start at short. Jimenez at second. Josh Naylor at first. Bo Naylor behind the plate.
Charlie Ramos will call the balls and strikes. Jeremy Riak at first. Ryan Wills on at second. And your crew chief, Carlos Torres, at third base. Lots of sunshine at the start of the game. 66 degrees. Breeze blowing out toward right and right center field. And the first pitch from Carlos Carrasco is a fastball strike. Nolan Shotwell is 3 for 7 in the series with a home run. And he bangs one foul up the first base side. No balls, 2 strikes.
Been a little weird down here before the game. We have had some, it's been sort of like London. It comes in, comes out. It's cooling down, but right now it is nice.
Yeah. At one point, it looked just like it looks right now. And then within 20 minutes, you couldn't see the Terminal Tower. You couldn't see the Key Tower. You couldn't see the Huntington Bank building. Swing and a miss. Down goes Shotwell as Carlos Carrasco strikes him out on 3 pitches to start the game.
Well, here you're going to see a nice breaking ball from Carrasco. Started him off fastball and a couple of sliders. Gets him to chase that one out of the zone. Strikeout number 1.
Mickey Moniak bangs it foul. Moniak batted 8th in the first 2 games of the series. But he bumps up to the 2-hole in the finale. Couple hits, including a home run in the series opener, 0 for 2 last night. And he's 0-2, and Carrasco throwing nothing but strikes at the outset.
Like to see that. Get ahead of the hitters, and that breaking stuff that you're going to throw off the plate works well.
One hop smash to short. And a low throw dug out by Josh Naylor. Gabriel Arias in there at shortstop today.
Well, Moniak hit that ball on the nose for an 0-2 pitch. Backhanded by Arias. Gets it over to Naylor. Out number 2.
Taylor Ward backed up by a fastball. 2 hits last night, both of them singles. And a long fly ball to left. Brennan is back, shy of the track. The Angels go 1-2-3, and the Guardians are coming to bat.
This will be his second start against the Indians. Took the loss prior start against Cleveland in September of 23, and he has surrendered 68%. 17 of his 25 runs have come in the first 2 innings, so let's see if they can get him.
There's the Guardians starting lineup presented by Progressive. The one difference you will note, Esteban Florial in the leadoff spot. Stephen Kwan out of the lineup, so Florial gets the task of trying to replace the leadoff man. He'll DH today. And he hits first pitch on the ground and into right field. And a flying start for Florial.
Well, you get up there looking first pitch fastball. Looked like he got it, and he gets a base hit. Had a way to start it and get on base. Bingo. Fastball down, middle of the plate. Finds the hole between first and second. There you go. There's your start. Just like Stephen Kwan.
Andres Jimenez hitless in the series, 0 for 8. And a curveball strike. Fly ball left field. Ward will make the catch. And that's out number 1.
Let's check out that Angels defense brought to you by Rally House. It'll be Ward in left field who just made that play. Moniak is at center, Adele over in right. Tucker is at third. Neto is the shortstop. Drury at second base. Shonowell is the first baseman, and Theis is doing the catching.
Jose Ramirez also looking for his first hit in this series, 0 for 7 with a walk, and has scored a run. Topper foul. Runner goes, pitch in the dirt, and no throw. Florial steals it standing up, his second on the year.
Well, there you go. It's an 0-2 count, and you figure, all right, they may be throwing them a curveball or something breaking, which it was in the dirt. Theis could do nothing about it. There's no throw. Florial gets his second stolen base of the year.
Popped him up. Out goes the shortstop, Neto. 2 down. Storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Guardians have not won back-to-back games in 2 weeks. They won 4 in a row, April 18th through the 21st, so they're looking to do something that they haven't experienced in a while. Hopefully Carlos Carrasco can follow Ben Lively's lead and get him deep in the game.
Well, a 9-pitch first inning. That's a good start.
Throwback, it's close, but Florial got the hand in.
Talk about the start Cookie got off to on the other side for Cannon. He had a terrible start in his last game. The words I heard over on our side were going to be patient with him early to get him in the strike zone, but so far he's got 2 outs and 7 pitches.
Well, you know what? He probably realized I got to throw more strikes. He threw 51% strikes in that start.
Got 5 walks, gave up 3 runs in the first inning.
He still had a no decision.
Right.
Gave up 4, and he was facing the Phillies.
But I love when you hear we're going to be patient. We're going to get him in the strike zone. First pitch of the game. Let's go.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Center field, Moniak, inning over. No score after 1.
Redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Second inning, no score. Willie Calhoun leading off for the Angels. Carlos Carrasco had a 9-pitch first inning. 8 of those pitches were strikes. But it is not the most efficient inning that he has pitched this year.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
For that, you have to go back to his first start in Oakland. In the bottom of the 5th inning, he had a 6-pitch inning.
Wow. You got that in your notes?
Yeah, it's filed away right up here in my brain. I didn't have to. Oh, that's a misread by Freeman.
Boy, it sure
is.
is.
Way to the wall. Willie Calhoun will have to hold with a leadoff double. I don't think Freeman would have caught it anyway.
Well, you know what? That's one of the plays. It's a line drive hit straight at you. His first thought, let's see. He comes breaking in 3 or 4 steps. And I'll tell you what, that ball was hit much harder than he anticipated. Well over his head. So that'll start as a double. Calhoun's his 3rd.
That was 103 off the bat. He barreled it up pretty good.
Is that the one you freeze on, Arch?
Yes. That's the one you sort of turn sideways and wait till you see it. And it, like you said, Matt, it still might have been over his head anyway.
Well, Willie Calhoun, what an addition he has been. 5 for 9.
No
and
doubt.
3 of those 5 hits doubles. Gets away. He's going for 3rd.
No,
Bo can't get a throw off. And so the Angels have a golden scoring opportunity here in the 2nd inning.
Wild pitch or pass ball.
I think it's a pass ball, don't you?
No, I don't. Did that hit? That didn't hit the ground. It looked
hit the glove.
Pass ball. It hit his thumb.
It is a pass ball. Check. Did he go? The appeal. He did. 1-1. Infield drawn in for Cleveland. Brandon Drury, the veteran, hitting 169. Slow tapper, too short. Arias checks the runner and throws him out, 1 down.
Yeah, and with nobody out, Calhoun doesn't run well, so they're not going to start him on contact in that situation.
Hitting 6 for the Angels to catch.
Your Kia player profile. Ben Lively leading the way, averaging
5.4.
Yeah, almost 2/3, 5 2/3 innings per start. That's just crazy, though, and that's not a Cleveland-only situation. That's probably emblematic of every team in baseball where
it seems like
5 2/3 is about as good as you're getting.
At this point in the season, it seems like that.
A little low. 2-0.
And you know, with I'm looking right now at Calhoun, and they may not send him on contact because you've got Adele on deck.
Right.
Should you hit it, you know, at one of your infielders,
he's going to have to get a good jump. A good
well,
read.
I'm saying even a good base runner, you know, you just hope the ball's hit right at one of your defenders. But you know, he doesn't run well, so I wouldn't think he'd be on contact.
How about that? A 3-0 swing, and he came out of his shoes on a slider down and in.
And you're just trying to get the guy in from third base. You're right. He tried to hit that one in Lake Erie.
Or as oil can said, the ocean.
Yeah, that ocean that's sitting over there just down the road. Well, we'll see if he makes an adjustment on this swing.
Good pitch. He came with the changeup.
And you know what? Yeah.
Full count.
After you see a swing like that, you got to come back with the change. And he thought it was outside, but no siree. Well, it might have been, but he gets a call.
They'll have a good conversation when he comes back up.
Well, not this time. When he puts the catcher's gear on, they go back. He will.
Here is the payoff pitch. Oh, he just missed outside. And Dice draws the walk. First walk issued by Carrasco, and now Angels at the corners with 1 out. And Joe Adell coming up.
Right fielder Joe Adell.
Swing and a miss at a good low fastball, and that hit 94 miles an hour.
It's been sitting about 93, 94 so far, Matt.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of them.
Off-speed pitch is down low to even it up. Joe Adell came into the series really swinging the bat well. He had 12 hits in his previous 10 games. Now the 1-2 in the air, deep enough to get the run home. Brennan will make the catch. And that's out number 2. Adell picks up RBI number 12 with the sac fly. So Adell, who does not have a hit in the series, gets the Angels on the board. And hey, when you're down on the count, that's a gift. You get a pitch like that, you can drive.
Right.
He did, and he got the job done.
That's hit hard by Cole Tucker. Deep and gone. Oh, nope, off the wall, and around third. Matt Dice going to try to score.
He's not
Here's
going
the throw
to
the plate. It's in time, and he's a dead duck. Got him. Although we might have a challenge. Evidently, Bo missed him on the initial tag. And then it was a late dive by Theis. Angels are taking a look at it. They will challenge.
Yeah, it's all now a matter of if he tagged him with before. Did he get the hand on the plate?
He didn't get him before he went around.
If he didn't get him, and then
he misses him right here.
Yeah, but I'm thinking on the way back.
Oh, he got him, didn't he? Got his thigh, didn't it?
I don't know. Watch where the hand is. I don't think so. It's awfully close on it. We were sitting behind him.
Okay, yeah.
And we saw where his hand got on the plate. I don't know if he tagged him by then. Oh, no. Gosh.
I think he's going to be out there.
I think so, too.
I don't think his finger got to the plate.
Right here. He didn't
no.
Okay, he missed him. You're right.
He didn't touch him there. It's when he comes back, and he might have been a little short on the plate.
I know that feeling.
He needed to have a fork and a knife between those fingers to get to the plate.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
It just pops into the mind.
I don't want to be in that mind.
You got that right.
Today's game is brought to you by Silverware.
Boy.
I mean, it's close, but I think he's out. We'll see. You never know.
See, he comes up short.
Maybe.
I think the fact that he's called out,
yes,
is good for Cleveland in this situation.
That's where he needed, as a catcher, those fingernail.
Great freeze frame, guys.
Yeah, right there. Good call. He's
that's
out.
The look of looks, as Murph would say. Tell you what, the way Laureano was going back after that ball, I kind of thought it was going to sail out of here. But he was going back casually, just figuring I'm going to wait and just play the ricochet. Fortunately, there was a ricochet. And then a good throw to Jimenez who made a really good relay to the plate.
To me, when you get Jimenez that baseball from the outfield in a situation like that, there's a really good chance you're going to get thrown out at home plate because he's got one of the better arms coming in.
See, when he starts jogging, you're thinking, oh, no, that's gone.
Well, he realized he wasn't
just
going to catch
missed.
it. That's how you play it off the wall.
Right.
Played nicely off the wall. And a good feed. Right there.
Perfect.
He was right in line, and it was a great throw, shoulder height, and it was right into the throw for Jimenez. Plenty of time to get him.
Well, they're taking a long time looking at this one. Crew Chief Carlos Torres, ladies and gentlemen. Hitting over. Can't hear a word he's saying, but nice job by Laureano to Jimenez to Naylor to end the inning. All right, we go to the bottom of the second inning. Angels lead it 1-0. Will Brennan with a one-hop smash to short. Neto with a nice play. One down. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Well, you're going to see Laureano, the hits coming off of Canning. He's homered 3 times, doubled twice, and a couple of singles. So he's had quite some success against him playing over in that other division, the Western Division, for a while.
Oh-2 missed down and away. We've been informed the official score changed the pass ball in the top half of the second inning to a wild pitch. Laureano fights it off, foul out of play. Struck him out. 2 down. 5 in a row retired by Griffin Canning. FanDuel same game parlay. Florial's on the board. Looking for more than 8. And keep the strikeouts low against Canning. Bo Naylor will bat here with 2 down in the second inning. Pops the first pitch up. Playable for Theis, the catcher. And the Guardians a 1-2-3 on 7 pitches.
Tickets are on sale starting at just $365 for 19 games, including ticket discounts, preferred seating, a ticket exchange program, and an interest-free payment option. CLEGuardians.com is the website to visit.
First pitch strike to Zach Neto. Batting 9th today. Carrasco right at him. It's 0-2.
Carlos right now doing a good job getting ahead of the hitters. He's got 4 0-2 1-2 counts. Some of these younger hitters, they have a chance to expand their strike zone and go at them. It's one thing he's been doing in his previous couple starts. He's been falling behind hitters and having to throw a lot of pitches to them to try and get him out.
Now the 1-2 and a bouncing ball foul up the first base side. You know, it's a funny thing about leadership, right? We often talk about leaders on teams and the qualities of leadership. I asked Chris Antonetti about Ben Lively and the way he just goes out there and very matter-of-factly just says, here it is.
Yeah,
see if you can
let's
hit
go.
it, kind of thing. And he said, I said, you'd probably love to take that, right? Put it up on a wall and say, all right, all you pitchers, do what this guy does. You know, that mentality that he has. And he said, hopefully that happens just by watching
him pitch. Yeah.
And again, that's another form of leadership.
Well,
by
sure
example.
Is. You go out and lead by. That's what most players are. They're not vocal. And guys here that have never been here before, you're not going to be a vocal leader. You're going to go out there and try and set an example by leading that way. Yes, absolutely correct.
Now the 2-2. Fouled away.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job to stay alive. Number 10 on this at-bat, so he's done a nice job after Carrasco was in front.
Shonowell, the leadoff man, started the series with a 10-pitch at-bat on Friday night.
What a good at-bat that was.
Neto starts hitting 3 with the Angels' third hit of the game. Well, Ben Lively last night, we showed you the graphic earlier. He leads the team in innings per start, and he just went out and did what he's done pretty much every start.
Yeah, he establishes that fastball early. He throws a lot of strikes. He stays on the edges, but he has to because he's throwing between 90 and 92 or 3. But mixes it in and keeps hitters off, off balance.
Arch, that's back-to-back games. He started the game striking off the side. I asked him about that last night. He goes, that means my stuff's working. He goes, well, I came in after the first. He goes, I know my pitches are doing what they're supposed to do, and I'm going to keep attacking.
Oh, my.
Step off.
Oh, no, he didn't step off.
Oh, and a great tag by Arias, and they may challenge this.
Instead of stepping off, Carlos threw to first.
It looked like he was going to beat the play, but Arias made that extremely close with a snap tag down on the hand, and they will challenge. But you're right, Rick. If Carlos just steps off and turns around.
Yeah, he's dead to rights. And that's what he did. He panicked. He held it. He knew he was going to, but he still threw to first base. He's out.
Second base. Yep.
Clearly. That's a heck of a job by both Josh Naylor and Arias. I mean, Josh makes a great throw, but you have to have those quick hands to just slap it down.
Yeah, it was right on the money too. The throw from Naylor, where he was able to do that. This shouldn't take long.
I think Zach's like, okay, yeah, I'm probably.
Yeah, he knows. Those guys, that's amazing. If you ever go watch the players on the field when they're going through a review, they're sitting there talking about it and doing everything else. They know.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Cleveland retains their challenge.
So that'll go 1-2-6 on the caught stealing. And with one out, Nolan Shonowell with a 1-0 count. You know, Rick, I did ask Stephen Vogt when the series began. I said, you know, and we all understand you have great respect for Ron Washington. You know, you were a player when he was coaching, and we get all that. When you're managing now against him, as the 1-2 pitch is in the dirt, I said, knowing that he may be a little bit unconventional, hard to predict, does that keep you on your toes? You know, when wondering what's he going to do here?
Right.
We've seen them try to be aggressive at times. You know, he said, obviously, there's not a whole lot of trickery in baseball. It's not like you can have a double reverse handoff in the backfield. But he said, certainly, we're going to be on alert when there are guys on base wondering, all right, is he going to start his runner here? You know that he's going to try to catch you napping if he can.
Well, and then you know what their lineups like and their hitters are like and what their tendencies are. So, yeah, I mean, they have a pretty good idea. But you still, I know what you're saying in the back of your mind. You just you're always on your toes.
Was there anybody you can think of that when you were playing, or even over the years watching, that a guy who you're like, if everybody thinks he's going to go left, he's probably going to go right? You're just somebody.
You mean a manager?
Yeah, like a Joe Madden maybe. Would he fall into that category?
I would think Billy Martin would be the first one to pop into my mind.
Line drive, base hit, left field. Mickey Moniak, third hit in the series.
You know, he would have, if he had the left-handed pitcher on the mound, first and third situation, that guy on third base, he'd get that guy at first to go over there and sort of stumble, and that guy would be running third with the left-handers not even looking at him. You know, little things like that. You know, because Earl Weaver, all he banked on was 3-run homers and great starting pitching.
And yelling at the humps.
Well, they both did a pretty good job of that.
But Billy was all about trying to win the mental game.
Yeah, he was a little guy.
Head.
Oh, absolutely. And if he couldn't, then he'd fight.
If all else fails, yeah.
If all else fails, let's go. We're duking it.
Arias to his left with the underhand shovel just in time to end the inning. Ohio GMC dealers tomorrow evening 5:30. Tristan McKenzie will go for the Guards as they take on the Detroit Tigers. Central Division foes going at it. Al Pawlowski, Chris Jimenez will get you ready for the matchup. 10 of the Guardians' next 13 games will be played against Central Division opponents.
That'll be fun.
Up high, ball one to Tyler Freeman. Freeman 1 for 7 on the series, scored a couple of runs.
Canning is a guy that on the road this year 0-3 and an ERA of 8.16. He has scuffled. The first two guys we faced here were very good on the road. Talking about Detmers last night in Soriano, although they did get to Detmers for 7.
Three balls and a strike on Freeman with Gabriel Arias to follow. Off the outside edge with a good low fastball.
That was a good pitch.
And the 3-2 hit to center. Moniak makes the catch. 1 down. A word from your Northern Ohio GMC dealers.
It's your 1.9% APR plus $1,500 purchase cash on 2024 GMC Terrain models.
Gabriel Arias to the plate. And then Esteban Florial will follow. Florial in the leadoff spot. Will Brennan is in left field today with Stephen Kwan out of the lineup. And, you know, Rick, as we await the results of the MRI on his left hamstring that he left the game early with the injury last night, you know, a lot of speculation. If he has to go on the injured list, what is the next move the Guardians make? I mean, you're talking about the best hitter in the American League to date right now.
You're talking about the energy of this ball club.
Yes.
Leading the league in runs scored. And Chris Antonetti, you know, was talking about Kyle Manzardo, who's off to a terrific start at AAA, batting over 300. Hit his 9th home run of the year yesterday. And he said the question internally has been, if we bring him to the big leagues, there has to be a spot for him to get everyday regular at-bats. Well, that could be a scenario that unfolds if, in fact, Kwan has to be placed on the injured list. So that is one possibility. It's not written in stone. As Chris said, it's something that we will look at internally and look at all the various options. Obviously, Miles Straw, there are things to consider and think about. But if this ends up being an injured list situation,
I hope it's not.
We all do.
We all hope it's not. I would tell you, Manzardo's not in the lineup in Columbus today.
Swing and a miss by Arias.
And I did talk to Kwani, and Kwani said, you know, he kind of smiled at me. He goes, well, the good thing, Dre, is it doesn't feel worse today. He goes, it doesn't. He goes, we haven't got the MRI back. He goes, I was concerned it would feel worse today than it did last night. It doesn't. So that's the most optimistic thing he's taken from this so far. Is the leg kind of feels like it did yesterday, and he's hoping it feels better tomorrow.
Yeah, his comment last night after the game was a little more cryptic.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear he's feeling better. Florial drives one, left center, and a nice running catch by Mickey Moniak. Boy, he went after that very smoothly and made the play look rather easy.
Def Leppard and Journey are stopping here at the ballpark on July 30th on their summer stadium tour. You can visit CLEGuardians.com to check out VIP packages and tickets.
Willie Calhoun, 5 for 9, 3 doubles since joining the Angels in this series. He's leading off for the second time. He doubled and scored the only run of the game in inning number 2. Smacks this one right into the mitt of Josh Naylor. One down on a loud line drive out.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple of hard hit balls, and they're Adams. You can see right there into the tracks of Josh Naylor at first. 107 miles an hour off the bat is an out.
Tell you what, boys, Calhoun may have found a place to stay for a little while. He did this with New York last year, too. You remember that? He was in the lineup early in the season for the Yankees.
Yeah, he was DH.
Hit the ball well for them early in the season last year, too, when he got a chance.
Brandon Drury in the hole 0-2. Man, he just looked bad. Third strikeout for Cookie. 2 down. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Sam Hentges and Eli Morgan both pitched last night. Sam will be, he's ready to be reactivated. Eli needs, according to Chris Antonetti, a couple more appearances before he'll be ready to go. But we're going to get some reinforcements for that bullpen. Unfortunately, Rick, there's also some bad news on the injury front in terms of player development. Chase DeLauder, who kind of wowed everybody in Goodyear with his performance, he has a fracture in the same foot that gave him problems before, and so he's going to go get looked at, and he's on the injured list. You just feel terrible for him because he looked like he was ready to take off this year.
And Matt, that's the only thing that's been holding this kid back now for 3 years. You know, he missed most of his senior year in college. And that was the one thing he told us in the spring. He said that foot had him worried the second time he had to get it looked at. So I imagine what's going through his mind right now, because some people have told me he could have been the first pick in the draft if he didn't have this foot injury.
Matt Theis awaits the pitch. And a slider in there for a strike, 3-1. Every team deals with injuries. But boy, it sure feels like Cleveland's had more than their fair share. Up and down the organization. And we're only a month into the season. Broke his bat. And Arias will take care of it. Halos go 1-2-3 for the second time in 4 innings, but they lead 1-0. Check out our Hyundai in the driver's seat. Guardians and Angels among the top base stealers in the American League. Guardians have a steal today, and the Angels have been caught once. Andres Jimenez fly to left. His only time up. High pop. Neto loves it, one away. A word now from Cleveland Clinic.
Get the care you need when and where you need it. Visit clevelandclinic.org/access. Cleveland Clinic is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Cleveland Guardians.
Ramirez trying to get to the slider, came up empty. It's 0-2.
Yeah, he's been in his struggles right here in the last 6 games. But, you know, he's been taking more first pitches to try and get an idea. And, you know, there you go. He swung at a breaking ball that was out of the zone. Tried to come back and get him for 2 times in a row. It didn't work. But 0 for 18 in his last 6 games.
Did he go? He did. 2 down. Third strikeout for Griffin Canning, who looks nothing like the pitcher who labored through 5 innings his last time out.
Yeah, he's pretty much staying ahead of the hitters, and this one he goes down out of the zone, and he got him to chase after.
One way to get deep into the game, finish innings. When he got 2 outs in the first, he needed 2 pitches to get the 3rd out. 1 pitch to get the 3rd out in the 2nd inning. 2 pitches to get the 3rd out in the 3rd inning. We often talk about, you know, getting strike 3, getting that 3rd out for young pitchers in particular.
Yeah,
it's a hump to get over.
It certainly can be. And, you know, he's coming off a couple bad starts, but like I said, he threw 51% strikes in his last start, so you know he was conscious of it and he wanted to come out and pound the strike zone more, and he's done that to this point.
Threw it by him, 2-2. Now the 2-2. He did not go. And a full count. If he can get the third out right here, he will have finished 4 innings in just 40 pitches. The 3-2. Naylor drills it foul. The 3-2, a smash up the middle, and that's through. And so Josh Naylor keeps the inning alive with a 2-out single here in the 4th. And boy, is that a good sight.
Smoked that one. I'll tell you what, he hammered it. He stayed back, and you take a look at it.
T-Mobile coverage camp.
Little sinker going down in the way and stayed on it nicely. What is that? About a 107. Right past Neto at short. That thing took off. Good swing.
That looked like a let's get back to basics kind of Josh Naylor swing.
That's perfect. You stay right there.
Had him leaning, but he's able to get back. He was just kind of taking a secondary lead when Canning whirled over and through. Chill Will grounded to short first time up. That ball took off on him. Brennan's been swinging a bat pretty well here. Over the last 11 games, he has 12 hits with 6 runs scored. And half of those hits have gone for extra bases, 3 doubles, 3 homers. Punched
made him reach.
And the catch made by Ward. 4 complete, 1-0 Angels.
Fans, we'd like to hear about your
Summer camps presented by Union Home Mortgage, designed for boys and girls 6 through 14, and campers will get great instruction, a Guardians uniform, and 2 game tickets. Register at cleguardians.com.
Pitch down low, ball 1 to Joe Adell, who drove in the only run of this game with a sacrifice fly. To short, Arias with a good throw to get him 1 down. Stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. Longest active playoff droughts. The New York Football Jets haven't been to the postseason since 2010. Tigers and Angels, been a long time for them. Oh, smashed right up the gut. That's 2 really good swings by Cole Tucker.
Yeah, he's been aggressive early against Carrasco. And he is 2 for 2. The double in the 2nd inning, and now a 1-out single here in the 5th. 5 hits now for the Angels. Takes it right back up the middle.
The batter now, shortstop Zach Neto.
Well, 1 on, 1 out for Zach Neto.
As I watch some of these younger guys from the Angels, it reminds me of something Ron Washington said to me yesterday. He goes, we told all these young kids, just because you didn't get drafted by us, there's a reason why you're here. Show me why you're here. I'm going to give you opportunities. Go and play aggressive and show me who you truly are, because the opportunities are here right now for these guys on that team.
And that's nice to hear. You know, when you if I'm going to get a chance, and I got to go out there and prove it. And that's all you can ask is for a chance.
On Canning's last start, they got a victory, and it was Wash's 72nd birthday. So they made a cake, and they had a picture of him when he had the nice afro and played.
Yeah.
He said he loved it. He goes, he wouldn't have loved it if they wouldn't have won the game, though.
Well, that goes without saying.
That tells you all you need to know about Wash. He goes, I don't care about a birthday. I want to win games.
Yeah, he's had enough birthdays.
Right. Arch, he told me, he goes, don't put an age on me. He goes, I'm ready to manage for the next 10 years if they let me.
Well, I'm sure he is. He's a breath of fresh air when you got to interview and talk to him.
No doubt. No
I mean,
doubt.
to talk to anybody, because he's just an honest guy and he loves the game of baseball.
If you talk to him and you walk away and don't love baseball and aren't excited for the game, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, he promotes the game because of the love he has for it.
Sits down that dugout 3-4 hours before the game looking for people to talk to.
Yeah.
Like most managers hide. He's out there front and center. And I don't blame most managers for hiding.
Where are they hiding from?
No comment. And I don't say that often. I'm going to stand on that one today.
Two-two. And a foul back out of play. Runner goes, and the pitch is inside. Throw down in time, but he might have got the hand in first.
Yes, he did. He was able to get it under there. Awfully close again, but he gets a stolen base, so they're first of the day.
Third steal for Tucker on the year.
Well, you look at that pitch, a little in off the dish, but here comes Bo with the throw. A little bit good throw. I mean, he'd had for him to get him, because Tucker had a good jump over there. It would have had to be right on the base, and that's awfully hard to do.
Now the 3-2 pitch. And then he walked him. Second walk issued by Carrasco. So the 8th and 9th place hitters have been on all 4 times against him. And now you turn it back over to the top of the order, and Nolan Shottlewell, who has struck out twice.
Right, this is where he's been able to, the one guy he's been able to get.
So how about on this day in 1978, Pete Rose picked up his 3,000th hit in a game against Montreal, got it off Steve Rogers. That same day, you're out on the West Coast playing these Angels, and Nolan Ryan dials up a one-hit shutout with a dozen strikeouts.
Well, he had a number of one-hitters.
Who had the only hit for you that day? Do you remember? 1978.
Kuiper.
Yes, my man.
Look at you.
My man.
He got good sleep last night. He's awake.
Thank you. I'm over the jet lag.
Kuiper batting ninth had the only hit for the for the Indians that day.
Okay.
So you're telling me Nolan Ryan always had big games when other players had big games.
Right. Double play ball. There's one and two. Gets him out of trouble. Nicely turned by Gabriel Arias. Halfway through, 1-0 Angels. Just to finish the thought on the Nolan Ryan deal, that one hitter against you guys, he finished his career with a dozen no-hitters.
Right.
Tying Bob Feller for the record for most one-hitters.
Yeah.
12 one-hitters.
Yeah.
And what did Nolan have? 7 no-hitters.
Yeah, right. That follows up 7 no-hitters, and Feller had 3. But those guys could go out and toe the rubber, and they could no-hit you on any given day. I wouldn't say perfect games a lot, because those two, they could walk some guys too.
Yeah, in the game that I was just referencing, Nolan had 5 walks against a dozen.
That's how he
strikeouts.
always pitched. Yeah. I mean, he was not afraid to walk you. He'd throw a lot of pitches in a ball game. He'd have more grunts than anybody. But boy, was he fun to watch.
And he pitched till he was 44.
Yeah, that's remarkable. When we had Julio up in the booth on Friday, you just don't play in the big leagues at that age. But a few people do.
Not at that level, right?
I mean, I call them freaks of nature, man.
The 2-1.
It's a young man's game.
And even, you think back, I don't recall the exact age that Bob was when he retired, but for that era, Bob pitched a long time, too.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that happened to him happened to so many guys back in the day, the war.
Yeah, he lost.
He lost his prime time 4 years to the war, or he would have had God knows how many more wins and strikeouts.
And potential no-hitters.
Right, correct.
Ramon Laureano leading off this 5th inning for the Angels.
If those guys were pitching today with the way they do the radar guns, they'd be over 100, both those guys. I guarantee it.
The 3-2. And Laureano down swinging. I mean, I always laugh when you see the stories in the old film of they're trying to time Bob Feller with a guy riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, right. Well, he was right there. He was the one who would tell you the stories.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
So you're telling me, I want to see the video.
Oh, you've got to see it.
We'll get it. Hey, we'll get it one day up in the
Okay.
booth up here for you.
That is great.
So just picture though, you've got a street blocked off.
Right.
Bob's going into his windup, and there's a guy on a motorcycle trying to time it. He's trying to catch up to Bob just as he releases the ball.
Right.
And he's got a speedometer so they could kind of gauge how fast he was
I believe
throwing.
that more than I believe the guns in these parks now.
That's
How about
right.
that?
I don't blame you.
I believe that. Time this out. I'm getting ready to throw this pitch.
We'll have to do that maybe tomorrow.
All right. I can't wait.
You got to get up here earlier.
All right. Tomorrow I'll come earlier.
I'm going to time you by a motorcycle to get up here.
Rev it up, Arch. Let's go.
You mean a big wheel? One of those.
Yeah, well, big wheel.
Hey.
2-1 offering to Bo Naylor, and it's fouled out of play. Bo's grand slam blew it open last night. It was Mickey Moniak with a 3-run homer on Friday night for the Angels. So both wins in the series were by 6 runs. Angels winning 6-0 Friday. Guardians come back, win 7-1 last night. And now here today, it's a pitcher's duel. Look out, he sent them scattering at the end of the Angels dugout.
Oh.
Griffin Canning, pitch number 56. And the 3-2 is down low, ball 4. So the Guardians have a one-out base runner. First walk issued by Canning today. And here's a Ken Ganley Kia game break without Pulowski.
All right, Matt, Arch, Andre, let's head to New York. Yesterday, Aaron Judge got tossed. Today, bottom of the first inning, first at bat. See you later against Skubal, his 7th home run of the season. He blasted that one out of Yankee Stadium, not even close. 2-0. Yankees trying to deal Detroit their 4th straight loss, fellas.
Can't keep the big man down. 1 on, 1 out for Tyler Freeman now. You know, at the top of our show today, Andre was playing the interview clip from Ron Washington, Angels managers, about the importance of everyday players. The presence.
Right.
Being in the lineup, their presence. Forget about what they physically do.
Right.
Yeah. And I got to thinking about it's important for a manager. It's important for an organization. It's important for the other guys, your teammates in that dugout. The one thing that we didn't really talk about, it's important for us, the people who show up and watch, the fans. Ground ball to short. Oh, what a great short hot pick by Neto. And he retires Freeman for out number 2. And I was thinking about it because of what we were just talking about, Drake. you know, talk about you going out to the Angels, you get the one-hit shutout. But when I was a kid, when I came to Cleveland Stadium, I expected to see you and Dwayne Kuiper and Buddy Bell. If you weren't in the lineup, oh, it's like they canceled Christmas. What do you mean he's not playing today?
Dave Garcia, when he was the manager, would put it in perspective as a player. He'd pull you aside and say, hey, look, you know, you got to play every day like it's your last game, because there may be some kid that, say you're playing the Chicago White Sox, that would come in here for a 3-hour drive or 4-hour drive to come see you play, and if you're not in that lineup and you don't run down the first base line every day, then he's going to be upset at you. But if he sees you that one time and you do everything right, then he'll never forget you.
Well, Matt, it's like you knew the conversation. Wash and I were talking and asked him about, you know,
Nobody said this was going to be easy. 5 strikeouts for Griffin Canning. 1-0 Angels through 5.
Well, the Guardians Kids Club, presented by Ohio's 529 plan. College Advantage is designed for kids ages 5 to 14, and memberships are $25 and include Guardians gear. CLEGuardians.com.
Ground ball to second base. Jimenez throws out Mickey Moniak. 1 down here in the 6th. Our Spectrum replay shows you Carlos Carrasco pitching into the 6th inning here this afternoon. He has struck out 3, walked a couple, and he's given up 5 hits.
Yeah, and 11 of his 16 outs have coming on 3 pitches or less. And you got to love that after the way he's been, you know, going his last couple of starts, throwing a lot of pitches to hitters.
Taylor Ward 0 for 2. Smash fair. Down the line it goes. And he's got himself a 1-out double. Seventh double on the year for Ward.
It was their 6th hit, and 3 of them have been doubles. Was that a little changeup in there, or a breaking ball? But he's ended up pulling it, getting it down the line.
Well, here's Willie Calhoun. He's hit the ball hard almost every time up in this series. Lined out to first base his last time up. And a first pitch curveball for strike. Hammered to deep right. Back is Laureano and makes a leaping catch on the wall.
Wow, what a play.
Back to second, tagging and going to third is Taylor Ward, but now there are 2 down.
Boy, he could not have run a better route and make the catch. Running to the wall.
BigNissan.com, are you kidding me moment.
Watch this, going back, he knows he's on the track. Makes the catch, knows the wall's there, gets it back in. A beautiful play by Laureano.
So a runner at third with 2 gone, and Brandon Drury at the plate. He lines one to right field, and Laureano puts it away to retire the side. Midway through the 6th, still 1-0 Angels. Well, it's a 1-0 game, bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order for Cleveland. Estevan Florial will lead off. He singled on the first pitch in the bottom of the 1st inning. He lined out to center field on the first pitch he saw in the 3rd inning.
So, does he swing at the first pitch?
If he likes it, yes. If you like it, get after it.
Okay, I think he's going to see a changeup here. No, a little slider.
I'm with you. I mean, okay, obviously there are certain situations. If a guy's just walked back-to-back hitters on 4 or 8 pitches, then you probably, even if it's right down the middle, you probably ought to take at least one. But for the most part, if you like it, if it's your pitch, as Ted Williams used to say, know what your pitch that you can really do damage with is, and if you get it, don't.
And he's hit both balls right on the button. You know, he's could have had 2 hits very easily.
Two balls, two strikes. Old Topper up the first base line. Stays fair.
Boy, nice job of getting off the mound.
Torre
took
a tumble.
Look at that. He flipped out.
Big man right back on his feet.
That's athletic right there. The crowd liked that. Big time wrestling.
Athlete.
That's right.
That's athletic right there.
Yes,
Wow.
it was.
I love it.
That was beautiful. Look at he rolls over and says, here we go. That a boy.
Hey, I've gotten the video already, guys. This is unbelievable. I just sent it to you. Thank you to everybody that listens and watches our program.
From what, Feller?
I got to see the Feller motorcycle.
How was it? How'd you like it?
It's unbelievable. I love it. I think we should bring one every Sunday to the ballpark.
We're going to time all the pitchers. Get some real time. Andres Jimenez takes a pitch down low. Line drive and a base hit left field.
He was able to get on top of that baseball and line it to left field. First time he popped up that way, he popped up to the shortstop. The second time, this time the hand stayed on top and he drills it into left field for a base knock. There you go. Upstairs, it was running away, stayed on top of it. Only the third hit. So Canning has been very good in this ball game this afternoon.
Swing and a miss. You would classify Jose Ramirez as a great player, right? Yeah. I mean, he's in the upper echelon elite player.
Yes.
I mentioned earlier that on this date, 1978, Pete Rose got his 3,000th hit. He played 8 more years and added another 1,256 hits to his career total. That's incredible. Runner goes and it's fouled off. Jose Ramirez, in 12 years, this is his 12th season, and obviously his first year only played a handful of games. You also had the pandemic season that was short. But in his 12-year careers, Jose Ramirez has 1,357 hits. That's 100 hits more than Pete Rose had in the last 8 years of his already Hall of Fame career.
Right.
That's scary good.
Yeah, it's, people don't know.
Well, think about the story Julio Franco told us the other night. I thought that was awesome.
Runner goes. Jose pops it up.
He's fighting the sun. He's fighting the sun.
And he ran out of real estate right in front of the dugout.
That wind might have had something to do with it. It seemed like.
I think definitely the wind had something to do with it, Arch.
Yeah, it looked like it from here.
He was tracking it, but
he had no glasses, though. That's what got him in trouble. But now he couldn't. You see, he couldn't take his eye off it to look where he was, near the dugout.
That's one of those Arch
his
rules.
Foot got stuck.
Got to have glasses.
Well, it helps, doesn't it, when the sun's out?
No doubt.
You should at least have them on top of your hat.
Jose trying to break out of a wicked funk. He is 0 for his last 19. Lays off 2-2. A little high, not by much. Canning wanted it badly, and now the string is out.
Well, he's seen 15 pitches today. That's at the top of the zone. He gets a break, but he's thrown Jose 10 strikes out of the 15 pitches. Got to send him now.
Runner goes, although he stopped after about 2 or 3 strides. Looked like he was going to take off, and then he just stopped.
Well, you figure Jose's going to at least put it in play. You know, that's what you're banking. I think that's what Sandy told him. Hey, you got to keep going. You're not trying to get a good jump to steal a base. You're going to run and create a hole.
Not running, and Jose fouls it off his leg.
More foul balls. Come on, Jose.
You can see some. Jimenez is gesturing to Sandy. There's obviously some either miscommunication or he just doesn't feel good about going.
It doesn't matter. There's 3-2 count. You're banking on Jose putting it in play. It's not what he thinks. Just take off.
10th pitch of the at-bat. He's running this time. Jose hammers one. Deep right field. Adele back on the track at the wall. It's gone. Jose Ramirez rocks it out of the yard. A 2-run homer to put the Guardians ahead 2-1.
Well, that stops that streak, and boy, it felt good. You see, he had that bat in his hand all the way to first base until he saw that ball go out of the ballpark. 6th home run allowed by Canning, and that's number 6 for Jose, and that gives him the lead.
Pitching coach Barry Enright going out for a chat. The bullpen just getting busy for the Angels. Canning about to make his 80th pitch of the day, but number 79 is not coming back.
Yeah, and just think about it. He felt he had a strike the pitch before that, and it was almost the same spot. So they go back in about the same spot, and Jose says, no, thank you. He got it out of there into the seats, and a nice grab by the fan after it took a hop into the seats. Canning upset, so they just wanted to give him a little breather right there. So Guardians take the lead now 2-1.
Yeah, their first hit of the day with a runner on base, let alone scoring position. Offense been stuck in neutral, but Jose gets them going, and boy, did they ever need that. He was 0 for his last 19. And you hope that's the kind of hit that'll get him rolling again. Josh Naylor. Picked up his 2nd hit in the series with a bullet back in the 4th inning. Ball that came off the bat over 100 miles an hour. Fooled on the changeup. 1-1. Fastball missed away. 2-2. to left. Taylor Ward now called off by Mickey Moniak, the center fielder. 2 down. So that'll bring up Will Brennan, who is 0 for 2 today. Is grounded out, flied out. Upstairs. There's a little blooper into left field and caught by Ward. We've played 6, and the Guardians have their first lead of the day thanks to Jose Ramirez, his 6th of the year. 2-1 Cleveland. Brought to you by Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet, mobile, and TV. Visit Spectrum.com for details. By your Chevy Network dealers and Union Home Mortgage. Promises kept. Carlos Carrasco went 6 innings, allowing a run on 6 hits, walked 2, struck out 3. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen made for Scott Barlow here in the 7th. Matt Thaiss leading off. And a 1 pitch out for Barlow.
What a nice bounce back by Carlos Carrasco today in his 6 innings. 13 of his 18 outs came from 3 pitches or less. 71 pitches today. Much different than what he's been doing. It was nice. It was efficient.
Back-to-back starts. 6 innings from your rotation.
That's what that's what you need.
I asked both of you, are we seeing a turn with this rotation?
We
now?
hope so.
Yeah, you have to hope, right?
Right. I mean, it's a better sign than what we saw for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
Well, I like 3 pitches or
Absolutely.
less. You know that, Andre.
I know you
I mean,
do.
because that's how you get deep into games. You don't get deep into games with striking a lot of guys out.
He used his fastball a lot early.
Well, he's facing a younger lineup here, but
True.
I mean, they were aggressive, and they went out and they had some opportunities early, and he worked around it. But 71 pitches, 6 innings. I'll take that every day.
Think about this. We haven't seen Clase all week. We haven't seen either closer all weekend long so far.
Yeah, 2 games that were out of control.
The 2-1. Good pitch, a little low. People maybe wonder what's the difference, if a guy goes 6 innings or if he only goes 5 in the third, 5 2/3. That's 1 extra pitcher minimum.
Yeah, right. That's 3 outs.
So if you figure over a series, that's 3 guys that maybe got an extra day's rest or you didn't have to use. I mean, it adds up, and that's the thing. We always talk about baseball because it's every day. It's a war of attrition.
You got to look at the big picture, not just that game. What's the difference between 5 and 6? Well, depends on how your starters have been going and how much work your bullpen has had.
And you got to get a bullpen guy up. We never talk about that. There's guys that get up. You know what I mean? Like, ooh. It's extra work just getting up, not knowing if you got to come in the 5th or 6th.
Yeah, it's not like those pitches don't count. They maybe don't go in the scorebook.
No, they don't.
But they count because it's your arm that's throwing them.
Here you
look
go.
at this.
I mean, you got 4 out of 5 guys that are in the top 5 in appearances.
I want to say we got Clase, or there's another guy that's not far behind with 15, I believe.
Yes, well, if he had 17, we'd put him on the board. But there's our 4 out of 5.
It's enough, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, how many more do you want?
Well, that's what the question is for the pitching staff. Carl Willis is saying the same thing.
Cole Tucker has 2 hits, and he's been aggressive. Taking this time on the first pitch as it was down and in with a fastball. Tucker doubled in the second inning, but that, looking back on it, was a huge play in this game. Smoked a double off the wall. He just missed a home run by maybe a foot. Runner goes. Pitches a strike. Throw down. Not in time. It was very close. Bo made a terrific throw right to the bag.
That was a good throw. He went in feet first, though. Give him credit. He went in hard.
Does anybody go into a bag harder than Joe Adell?
Well, he was sliding late yesterday, but you see that. Oh, I don't know. That's hard to tell. Nope. They're not going to challenge.
Bang, bang for sure. Give him his 7th stolen base on the year. But on that double that Tucker hit in the second that just missed going out of the ballpark, that was a play in which Matt Thaiss ended up being thrown out at home plate.
Yes, indeed, back in the second.
And ended the inning. It took 2 good throws to get him, but they executed. And what that also did,
got you out of the inning.
It's another one of those weird stats that we've been checking out. So the Guardians now have 52 multi-run innings. They've only allowed 30.
Nice.
That would have been
tough to come back from.
That would have been a 2-run inning had they not made that play at the plate.
That's how you keep that plus minus.
Yeah.
That run differential.
Run differential.
You brought that up about Joe Adell going to bases. You know, Matt, there was a game earlier this year he didn't slide going in the second, and they lost the game in the 9th inning. He may have to go to the Rick Manning sliding school.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, 2 down. Well, let's go back. This is the second inning, and this, first of all, watch where the ball hits. It just missed, goes out of the park.
Two good throws. I mean, it was a great one from Laureano, a great one from Jimenez, and they had to look at it because he missed them, and then his finger was an inch away from the plate when he comes back, and then Bo got the tag on him.
Yeah, the Angels challenged that call, but we had a great second look at it where our guys in the truck, Steve Bardo and company, they froze the video and you could see the gap.
Yeah.
You could see the gap between his fingers at home plate.
Got a new stage manager in the booth today.
Much better
you showed up.
Much better looking than the other one.
Yeah, you're right. You're coming back tomorrow.
It sounds like I got to come upstairs.
No, you stay down there.
Oh, man, I got to go see Tommy over across the way then.
Marlowe checking that runner at second, and he throws it by Neto.
We had all that talk about love, and you guys hear it out there. Now they don't want me to come up.
This is it. Look at that.
There it is.
Just daylight between the fingertips.
That's just a great shot right there.
I want to grow his fingernails out next time.
Yeah, and put that those
paint on it.
Yeah, the paint on it where you make the calls for the pitcher where they can see it easier. Stick-ons.
Fluorescent press-on nails.
You got it.
Nobody
and
talks
make
about
them 2 inches longer.
Yes, nobody talks about fluorescent more than we do. Hey, those Rays uniforms, I will say, the numbers are actually bright, though, Matt. The name isn't.
We're going back to it again.
I love it. Hey, the Guardians City Connects are coming soon, too, in less than 2 weeks. Just so you know, Art.
I know. That's why we're off.
There's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the inning. Nice work by Scott Barlow. Stretch time in Cleveland. 2-1 Guardians.
And I'm so excited for him, and I'm honored to have been, his pitching coach and a part, of his journey to that point. And my opinion, there's going to be another Hall of Fame for him to be inducted to. But I just hope people will know. I'm so proud of CC as a pitcher and everything he accomplished. He's a better person than he was a pitcher, and he was an unbelievable teammate. And I say that with experience with him here in Cleveland, but also with conversations I've had with people who were in Milwaukee and certainly people in New York. He changed some of the cultures, and he's an unbelievable young man, and I'm really, really excited for him.
Now, CC Sabathia will be inducted into the Guardians Hall of Fame in August. 2001, he stormed onto the scene with 17 wins as a rookie.
Yes, indeed.
Won the Cy Young in 07. Finished with 106 wins before he was traded, and his career took him to Milwaukee, where, I mean, my goodness, they literally took the entire team and said, CC, carry us to the postseason.
Oh, he was
and
pitching on 3 days rest.
Yep.
He would go out there, and I mean, he was a horse. And he ended up carrying them, right to the playoffs. What a year that was
But
for him.
how cool is it? And we know, because we've been around CC and we know how other teams have been, that he's changed culture. And I think that, to me, we can talk about what he did on the field, but to hear Carl talk about that, he meant that. Even after we got done talking, he goes, I've been in baseball my whole life. He goes, there's only been a handful of guys I can say what I just said about CC I can say about.
Right.
Well, what's really cool about CC Sabathia for us is that we literally watched him grow up. He came here as a young kid, and we watched him ups and downs and trials and tribulations, and we watched him grow into a man.
Yeah, we watched him grow into a Hall of Famer.
And I've always respected him, not only as a pitcher, what he did as an athlete, but the person he was off the field, and how vulnerable and open he would be, knowing that as an athlete you live a very public life. And he was okay and forthcoming and shared his shortcomings and the ups and downs and the things that he's dealt with off the field. And as Carl said, just an unbelievable teammate. Ground ball to short. And Ramon Laureano is retired for route number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
For those in Cleveland, the last time CC was here, what I love, I said, Andre, this is always going to be home. My kids were born here. When he came back the one time, he went back to the old neighborhood that he had his kids in. He went to go see who was still living in that neighborhood and wanted to say hi. How many athletes do that?
Bo Naylor walked his last time up. That ball just floats in there. It must feel like it's never going to get to you.
Exactly. Tough to stay back.
2 down, and Tyler Freeman coming up. Way outside. Hit him. If you're going to get hit, 74 miles an hour is about as
slow as it's going to get.
I don't think
that's right.
Let me get that motorcycle out. Let's time it out.
Unless you've got a guy throwing a knuckleballer.
No doubt.
Still a 2-out base runner for Gabriel Arias. Back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. He strikes him out with a pitch above the strike zone. Here for the first time this year. We'll also see the Mets come to town. So some really important baseball up ahead as we get into the month of May. You know, Rick, we've often heard for many years about once you get about 40 games into the
Quarter
season,
pole.
yeah, you kind of have a pretty good feel for your team. Shonowell, a ground ball to first. Nice backhanded play by Naylor.
Like it.
One
to the bag.
Some people will tell you that, you know, you don't really pay too close attention to things until you get past Memorial Day. Everybody's got their own theory on this. I asked Chris Antonetti, you know, is there a rule that you look at as far as evaluating your team as the season is ongoing? And, you know, as far as, hey, looking at pitching, can we do better here? Or, you know, position player, I mean, is there? And he said it's the more information you have, the better. The more games, the more innings pitched, the better you are at determining, okay, hey, this is an area where we need help, or this is a position maybe we can go look to try and bolster, whether it's internally or externally. So
you can prepare, but you can't prepare for everything. You know what I mean? You try to do the best you can do, and I'm sure every club does it. I mean, you get 40 games in, you know signs and weaknesses and strengths that you may have, but you can never predict injuries.
And that's the great equalizer, right? Because you can't predict, and you don't know. Oh my gosh, today we've showed up and Stephen Kwan's unavailable.
Right. It's so weird that this game changes no matter how you go. You just got to come ready, get ready to play every day and let the cards fall where they may.
And that's why the Tito comment from years ago, back in 16, when he had his whole team together in spring training, he said, you know,
40 guys.
40, bingo. Because that's what happened in 16. Everything was rolling fine, and then before you knew it, half your rotation's gone, and it's September.
Yeah, and that's so true. You're going to need that 40-man roster throughout the course of the year. I don't care what anyone says. You got to be ready at any time.
And Matt, that goes back to the injuries you were talking about when you brought up what's going on with Chase DeLauder. Not that saying he would have helped this year, but you don't know. And now all of a sudden you know that he's one more guy that won't be able to help you down the road this season.
2-1 pitch hit in the hole, backhanded by Arias. Off balance throw on the money.
Nice play.
Done.
Yeah, really nice play. Made it look easy. He didn't rush it. We know he has a good arm, and he just gets rid of it quickly, and just a nice, strong throw on the money. There you go.
Taylor Ward doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Tried to hold up, but he went. That's strike one. Meanwhile, those Minnesota Twins, a 12-game winning streak coming into play today. They've moved to just a game and a half back of Cleveland in the standings.
Yeah, they've been playing great, but you know what comes after a winning streak, don't you?
A losing streak.
Thank you. Exactly. And they're coming to town.
You can't get anything by us. We're sharp.
They're playing very well.
What goes up must come down at some point. They are playing good ball.
Spinning wheel.
Oh,
by Harry.
He helped it there.
Arias
nice.
Cleans it up and throws him out.
He slowed it down enough. Look at runners in scoring position, 320. They couldn't hit. They couldn't score with runners in scoring position early in the year. They were striking out 10, 12, 13 times a game.
And this win streak was really jump-started when they beat up on the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
They got rolling against Chicago. The White Sox, while they won last night, they're just 7-26 on the year.
Well, today the Red Sox are up 3-1 in the 6th inning against Minnesota in Minnesota.
Matt Moore spent a little time with Cleveland last year. One of 3 left-handers in that Angels bullpen, and we've seen the other 2, Amir Garrett and Jose Suarez. First time we've seen Moore in the series. He's got Esteban Florial, Andres Jimenez, and Jose Ramirez here in the 8th inning. Flo pops it foul off of his foot. Started the game with a base hit to right field, line to center in the 3rd, and then he tapped one up the first baseline his last time up, and the pitcher Griffin Canning made a nice play on it to tag him out. But Flo really got the last laugh because his recovery at the end of that play was impressive. The 2-2. That was either a pro wrestling move or a gymnastics move.
Oh, that's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Get down and get back up. He wouldn't let you pin him.
The 3-2. Got him. Good fastball. Matt Moore strikes him out, 1 down. Recapping the FanDuel Same Game Parlay. Use the FanDuel app. Make your own Same Game Parlay play. Live odds available. Flo got a hit. The over is under. And Canning went over on the strikeouts. Jimenez lays off. He's 1 for 3. Singles ahead of Jose Ramirez's home run in the 6th that gave Cleveland the lead. Center field. Moniak broke in, but able to recover easily to make the play. 2 down. Back in the 6th inning, though, Jose Ramirez. Power.
Yes. And the pitch before was in pretty much the same spot that he did not take. But look at that. He was in a, 0 for 19 slump. And, you know, that one left the park. It gave him the lead. And he was just about time. He was ready.
Jose's hit a couple of home runs right-handed this year, and he's batted .270. I read an article the other day in the Wall Street Journal about the sort of vanishing or the disappearance of the switch hitter in baseball. You know, few and few, especially among young players, in the game. But Cleveland seems like for years they've always had or a couple switch hitters.
Yes, they have, always.
Jose draws a walk. Jose, he's been fantastic. You think back to the days of guys like Victor Martinez, Omar Vizquel going back even farther. I mean, Francisco Lindor. We've had a lot of really talented.
Yes, there's no doubt.
2-out walk keeps the inning alive for Josh Naylor. If you could go back and live your life all over again, would you have been a switch hitter?
I was a switch hitter.
But when did you stop?
I quit. I mean, when you were growing up back then, by the time I got in high school, there wasn't a lot of left-handed pitchers.
Right.
So you were always hitting left-handed. And then by the time you see one, you know, what are you going to go for one time? You never, like, I didn't practice hit both sides. You'd go, but I was originally a right-handed hitter. I learned to hit left-handed. I would do it. I would have stayed through high school and done it, yes, and into the pros, absolutely.
Jose takes off. The throw down almost goes. It does go into the outfield. It went off of Neto and not backed up very well by Drury. He was late getting over to help. And Jose alertly ends up at third base with 2 down.
Well, Matt, Rick, I was going to ask, the American player that switch hits seems to be dwindling as well. And I think, Arch, part of what you said, I know, you know, when we would talk to Jose and Frankie about it when they first came up, they said no matter who was pitching, because you remember Lindor's thing, his dad always told him every other at-bat, you got to do each one.
Yeah.
So for the American player, you don't see a lot of guys do it because of what you just said. You don't see left-handed pitching, so when are you going to hit right-handed?
Yeah, that's what happened back then. You know, left-handers who played first base or the outfield. I mean, there was a few left-handed pitchers, not a lot.
I try to figure out how many everyday players hit right-handed nowadays, and only right-handed. And it's not a lot.
And not in our team. We got a lot of left-handers.
Yes.
It's weird that I can remember this, but I'm thinking back to when I was like 12, 13 years old. I think we had one left-handed pitcher in our little league.
You could go back. Yeah. Not a lot of lefties pitched.
Sean Burrows, if you're out there, I still remember you.
Probably a doctor somewhere.
Swings and fouls it off.
There's some cheering going around the stands. I think people got their iPads or phones with them, letting them know the Cavs let them know over next door.
Congratulations. They're moving on. Their first playoff series win since 2018. Took them 7 games, but they get Boston now for
They get
sure?
Boston.
Yes, they do.
Naylor socks one to deep center field. Goodbye. A 2-out, 2-run home run for Josh Naylor. And that is a big insurance hit for this club. There were 2 outs, nobody on base. Jose Ramirez takes his walk, which he hasn't done a lot of this year, but he gets the walk, and then Josh Naylor makes it hurt. So two-run homers today.
Got a fastball up in the zone at 93 and smoked it. Line drive, give Naylor his 8th home run. A couple more ribbies for him. And that, you're right, that was a nice add-on right there.
So the Guardians' last 11 runs have all come via the homer.
Strange for this team.
Yeah, all 11 in the series. Will Brennan taps one to first. And we'll go to the 9th. It's now Cleveland 4, Angels 1. Josh Naylor. Yes, sir. Won their playoff series over the Orlando Magic. You can see the fans streaming out of the arena onto the Gateway Plaza. Some of them are going to stick around and peer through the gates.
Yeah, why not?
And watch the final inning of this game. Emmanuel Clase coming on to pitch for the Guardians. Tell you what, Rick, 24 outs recorded by Cleveland pitching today, and 16 of those 24 outs on 3 pitches or less.
I love it.
That's attacking, being aggressive.
Yes, I love it. They're swinging the bat. They're getting early outs.
Willie
get another one.
Swings at the first pitch, 1 down. Stay tuned for Guardians Live, presented by Toyota. Pulaski, Jensen Lewis have the highlights, analysis, interviews, and more coming up next. Brandon Drury. Drury 0 for 3. And looks at a fastball up and in. Clase fastball in off the plate, 2-0. Clase has saved 9 out of 11 on the year. And that's off to the right and out of play. Fouled back 2-2. Andre, did you get any sense or any idea when they anticipate to hear the results of the MRI that Stephen Kwan had?
They were hoping to know by the end of today or early tomorrow, so I'm hoping I'm going to try to find out after the game.
Yeah, stay tuned here for Guardians Live coming up for the very latest. Swing and a miss. Clase blows it by Drury, 2 down. Matt Thaiss will be the batter for the Angels. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Swings at the first pitch, and oh my goodness, he almost knocked Austin Hedges out of the dugout.
He knocked him
Hedges
to the
will be all right. Hedges will be all
Down
right.
goes Hedges.
Come on, Hog, get back up.
He just came off his first home run of the year yesterday. You can't hurt that guy. Look at his hat. That's perfect. The 0-1. Yeah. No balls and 2 strikes. Two-strike pitch. A little low. We had over 26,000 here last night. Pretty good Sunday afternoon crowd. Everybody up on their feet. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Book it. The Guardians take the series. Clase gets his 10th save. And Cleveland goes 10 games over 500 at 22-12 on the year with a 4-1 home run powered victory here today.
Get a chance they win another series, which is very nice after losing the first game here. Come back, win the series. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, and they got stomped in that series opener. They didn't look good.
Shut down.
6-0.
Jet lag.
But boy, they bounced back nicely.
Yeah, they did.
To win the series. 4-1 is the final. We'll have some final thoughts right after this.